All around us are bright lights and merry messages, yet our heart is not all joyful. There is grief with the loss of relationships, those we love no longer with us because of death, those we have loved who are estranged from us, those we love yet experience a diminishment of intimacy. There is grief with the loss and change of relationship. Grief, bittersweet, for it is a consequence of the presence of love. This season brings forth many feelings. We find comfort in naming these feelings. We find some peace in being together. All around us are bright lights and merry messages, yet in our heart, not all is joyful. There may be pain in our bodies, physical pain as a natural outcome of aging, physical pain that presents itself in illness, pain in the body that forces us to change and imposes limitations. Pain, bittersweet, for physical experience includes both pain and pleasure. And this season brings forth many blessings. We find comfort in naming these feelings. We find some peace in being together. All around us are bright lights and merry messages. Yet in our heart, not all is joyful. There may be anger and regret with the memories we hold. Anger with past experiences of hurt or abuse. Regret of our own actions that may have caused others to hurt. Anger that life has not turned out as we imagined. Regret for what might have been said or done. Anger and regret, bittersweet in presenting the possibility for healing and forgiveness. This season brings forth many feelings. We find comfort in naming these feelings. We find some peace in being together. All around us are bright lights and merry messages, yet in our heart, not all is joyful. There may be uncertainty that accompanies transition and change. Uncertainty of what the future may bring with changes. Uncertainty of direction or purpose after retirement or change of vocation. Uncertainty when changing residence by choice or by necessity. Uncertainty, bittersweet for change, a constant in life, lets us know we are alive, and change, along with this season, brings forth many feelings. We find comfort in naming these feelings. We find some peace in being together. All around us are bright lights and merry messages, yet in our heart, not all is joyful. There may be a sense of hopelessness. Hopelessness in the face of so much violence and suffering. Hopelessness with attempts to heal our aching world and ourselves. Hopelessness in witnessing what we have not managed to accomplish. Hopelessness, bittersweet, for its longing reminds us of our capacity for hope and the human spirit's tenacity and courage that rests deep within each of us. This season brings forth many feelings. We find comfort in naming these feelings. We find some peace in being together. All around us are bright lights and merry messages. Yet in our heart, not all is joyful. There is loneliness. Loneliness when we find ourselves alone after being long partnered. Loneliness when we are separated from loved ones. Loneliness when we move to a new community and struggle to find our way. Loneliness that never seems filled with good company. Loneliness that is an ever-present aching in the heart. Loneliness, bittersweet, for it is felt only when we have known connectedness. And this season brings forth many feelings. We find comfort in naming these feelings. We find some peace in being together. All around us are bright lights and merry messages. Yet in our heart, not all is joyful. We know grief and pain. We know anger and regret. We know hopelessness and loneliness. We know all these feelings. We name them. We live them. For such is the human experience. The human experience that love presents us with the possibility of being hurt, with grief of loss. That connection holds the potential of loneliness and uncertainty. That forgiveness can begin to heal anger and regret. That being alive is a courageous act in which we engage all of our emotions. And this season brings forth many feelings. We find comfort in naming these feelings. We find some peace in being together. We now move to a ritual of honoring sorrow and loss, our own sorrows, our own losses, or those who are near to us, who matter to us, whom we love so deeply. During this ritual, we will light 4 candles, one by one. We light our first candle to remember those we have loved and lost. Often, even if we've adjusted to the loss of someone near to us, the holidays are a rude and painful reminder that not all of our loved ones can gather close to us. The loss of these friends, our family members, is more keenly felt during this season. We take this time to remember the names of our beloveds, their faces, their voices, and the memories that bind them to us in this season. We remember them, recognizing that each of us brings different needs to our grief. We light our second candle to honor loss and sorrow of all kinds. The loss of relationships, the loss of jobs, the loss of health and wholeness. We pause to gather up the pain of the past and offer it to the holy presence that is larger than ourselves. Each of us bears some emptiness due to loss. All of us have difficult choices to make and a yearning for our true selves to emerge. We light the third candle of this service and remember ourselves during this holiday time. We pause to remember our own limitations and growing edges and to reflect on the fragility of our souls. Through our limitations, we discover our capabilities. Through our grief, we discover our challenges. We are often surprised by the depth of our own wisdom and by the breadth of our own compassion. And it is through the chaos in our lives that we come to appreciate and seek out order. In recognition of the tension between chaos and order, we sit together for some moments of meditation. We honor our need to seek a balance between order and chaos, between inspiration and discouragement. We honor our need to take care of ourselves. Let us also in this time honor our need to take care of others, thinking about those people in our circle of friends and family who, like us, are experiencing times of messiness or of chaos or of difficulty. As we sit in this time, please reflect on or pray about our shared work of healing one another and being companions to one another. Take some time now to hold all of those in your circle of care. All our lives, we are in need, and others are in need of us. Whatever our struggles or pain, whether fresh or chronic, all of us have received the help of others at one time or another. Some of us have been able to continue with our lives only because of someone else's care or support. We light this fourth candle to remember those who have supported and helped us in the past through friendship and love. We pause with thanks to remember those who were strong for us when we lacked strength and whose loving care has sustained us. Dr. Albert Schweitzer said, "At times our light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lighted the flame within us." At this time, I invite you to come forward and light one of the votive candles here on our altar of life. The votive candles represent your burdens, griefs, and sorrows, those things which might make Christmas blue for you. If you choose, you may speak the name or the event as you light your candle that gives you sorrow or grief, that burdens your spirit this time of year. You might also choose to speak the name of a person or event that is helping you through this time of year. After lighting your candle, please return to your seat. You may come forward now. If you like, you can use any of the candles. You can light from any of the candles up here if you'd like. 2 candles for those on Zoom. And I light one final candle for any sorrows, burdens, or griefs that remain only in our hearts, here to be held by this gathered community. We close our ritual with the words of Howard Thurman. Please read with me. I will light candles this Christmas, candles of joy despite all sadness, candles of hope where despair keeps watch, candles of courage for fears ever present, candles of peace for tempest-tossed days, candles of graces to ease heavy burdens, candles of love to inspire all my living, candles that will burn all the year long.